Now let's get to the obvious bullpen decision. I want to make it clear. I am not saying that you had to pull Max Fried in that spot. Going batter to batter with Max Fried in the 7th inning would have made plenty of sense. This is all I'm saying. I'm saying that is on Weaver. He was not put in a position to fail. And going into this, as John Flaherty said in the postgame, as Michael Kay's killing the decision, and listen, I get it. Michael Kay's killing the decision. John Flaherty mentions it. Weaver is a guy they have to trust if they're going to win. In that spot, he has to get those outs. And the one thing that's unfair to me is everybody pointing to Garrett Crochet and saying, look, the Red Sox and Cora stuck with Crochet for 117 pitches. He didn't rush to take him out. That's what a real manager. Let me say something. The difference between the innings from the 3rd inning on, nobody reached base for the Yankees. Garrett Crochet retired 17 batters in a row. 17 in a row, including a 6-pitch 7th inning. And the second Volpe gets on, he allows him to face Wells, and then he gets him out of there. It's not like what if Chapman came in and after allowing Volpe to get the second base because he threw over 3 times, gives up a base hit to Caballero? Are we killing Cora for not leaving Crochet in there to finish the 8th? He threw 17 consecutive outs. They didn't even get a guy on base from Anthony Volpe's home run on. Meanwhile, as great as it was to continue to put up zeros from the ace in Max Fried, who pitched brilliantly in this game, who pitched great in this game, who got out of every single jam, but he got into a jam in every inning. Whether it's because the umpire was squeezing him and he wasn't getting that call in the outside corner. But as you were going through this game, every inning, as the Yankees were up, I was comfortably in my chair just going up, and I'm scoring the game because I'm scoring the game. Up, strikeout. Up, ground ball to second base. Up, no, next inning. And while the Yankees are pitching, I've got my heart in my throat because every single inning, Max Fried is forced to throw high-intensity pitches to get out of a jam in every single inning. He gets a runner on the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, has to get the double play in the 6th. They bring him back out to get Duran. He gets Duran, and then he goes, instead of going batter to batter, and here's my only problem with going batter to batter. We talk about how we don't trust the bullpen. And yeah, because hindsight's 20/20, Max Fried would have stayed in there, and he would have got the next 2 outs. It would have been real easy. And then, of course, Devin Williams would have pitched great, and Bednar would have pitched great, and the Yankees would have won 1-0. I know. Max Fried allowed a base runner in every inning since the 3rd. Max Fried allowed base runners with 2 outs in consecutive innings. The last thing I want in that spot, the very last, is for Max Fried to put on runners and then go to my bullpen for the top of the Boston Red Sox order with runners on. That's the last thing I want. Boone gave the bullpen and gave Weaver 1 out, nobody on, the 8-9 hitters up. We can argue it. You can make a very strong case. Hey, he makes $30 million a year. He's the ace. You got to stick with him until the wheels fall off. If the wheels fall off, I have zero faith in the bullpen getting out of a jam with runners on and the top of the Red Sox order coming up. Zero. Nobody on, 1 out. Weaver needs to get 2 outs. That's the bottom line. We can quibble about whether or not it was a smart move. I'm not trying to stamp my foot and say you had to take him out, you had to bring in Weaver. I understand why you want to lean on your ace. I do. But I feel a hell of a lot worse about this bullpen with runners on, and Fried put runners on in every inning since the 3rd. Every inning. But this inning, of course, would have been clean. If I'm going batter to batter with him, I don't like the idea of going to Weaver with runners on, or Cruz with runners on, who came in and walked a guy, or Devin Williams with runners on, who walked the first batter on 4 pitches. I want to give the bullpen the best chance to succeed. There's a fine line between riding with your ace, which I get, and also giving your bullpen the best chance to succeed. And the best chance to succeed is with nobody on and one out. The bottom line is, he needs to be successful in that spot. Bottom line. And let's be honest. I know if they don't win this game and they don't win this series, there's no ALDS, and there's no ALCS, and there's no World Series. I get it. There is no tomorrow now. But if Weaver can't be trusted to get those outs, what are they winning? Because you're not going to be happy with a wild card. I'm not going to be happy with a wild card. That's not enough. They have to win the whole damn thing. And if they're going to go through this American League playoff and into the World Series and take on the likes of the Phillies or the Dodgers, the idea that Weaver can't pitch in the seventh is going to make it very difficult. One out, nobody on, get the freaking outs. There were mistakes made in this game, and now it sounds like, obviously, Jazz isn't happy, and Boone's going to have to figure that out because he has to get him happy. He has to get him productive and in the right frame of mind for tonight's game. And let me just end with this on the open before we get to your calls at 888-808-1019. This series isn't over. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. Last night was a more important game. I know they're all important. Game one, we've talked to about everyone's won game one. This would have to be the first time ever of a game one winner to lose the series if the Yankees are going to continue. So I'm not saying the game wasn't important for the Yankees. Clearly was. But I felt like it's more important for the Red Sox. They could not afford to lose the crochet start with a pitching matchup that favors the Yankees in the next two, including game three, if it gets there, where they might be throwing a bullpen game for all we know. Or a young kid in early who would be making, his playoff debut, obviously. The Yankees are still in a good position. Rodon has been great. They've won 18 games with him on the mound. He's pitched good starts the last two times he's faced the Boston Red Sox. They win this game. If the Yankee offense can wake up, hit bellow, score some runs, Rodon does what he does, they win this game, they have the better pitching matchup for the third game of the series. The series is not over. It's one game. It's a frustrating loss. There were definitely mistakes made. Questionable decisions in the lineup. Questionable decisions from Aaron Boone. One decision I don't think is questionable at all. I think it's just a hideous one in bringing Jazz Chisholm into the game and allowing that spot to come up in the ninth. It's frustrating, but it ain't over. It's one game. And maybe I'm crazy. I still feel confident. I've seen them pitch well against this Red Sox team. Max Fried, the lefty, just pitched well against this team. I think Carlos Rodon's going to go out there and pitch well tomorrow. This series is not over. Man, oh man, the reaction on it, it's not over. It's a frustrating loss, no doubt. And there are talking points to be had about this game, and it's frustrating that they were up 1-0, and they had opportunities, bases loaded, nobody out in the ninth, and they can't come through. They got their playoff guy up with the bases loaded, nobody out. And I thought the killer of that at bat from Stanton was the little half a check. It wouldn't even been questioned whether or not it was a check swing or not. And it just on a pitch, 100-mile-an-hour fastball up out of the zone, just hits the bat for a strike one instead of ball one. I thought that killed the at bat for Stanton. But they've got to come through in those moments, man. You can't have bases loaded. And Bednar needs to not give up a run. I feel like that's going to be because the game was already blown with Weaver. If Bednar doesn't give up a run, that ninth inning is completely different. You're able to pinch run for Goldschmidt with obviously the Martian. You can pinch run with Dominguez, and then when the bases loaded at third, maybe you try and tag up to tie the game on that short fly ball from Jazz. That inning is completely different, only down one as opposed to down two. The bullpen failed them. The manager, I suppose you could say, failed them. He didn't help them. And the offense failed them. And they better get it together for tomorrow because obviously this will be the end.